Whether you have a storm shelter or not, you have options the next time severe weather rolls into town. Meteorologist Sabrina Bates walks us through what you can do next time you're in the path of one of these severe storms.
A tornado warning is issued and you head into here, your storm shelter. But what if you don't have one? I talked with local experts about how to come up with your sheltering plan before the next storm hits.
The last thing we want is for people to feel helpless.
Give yourself the most protection possible from a tornado. The best way to do that is to have a plan on where to take shelter long before severe weather strikes.
Most people in tornadoes that are killed or injured, it's because of flying and falling debris.
I met with Rick Smith, warning coordination meteorologist at the National Weather Service in Norman.
Think about, I need to put barriers between me and the wind.
To break down what you need to know when making a decision on where to take shelter.
What you need to do is find a spot in your house that gives you as many walls as you can possibly get between where you are and the outside.
People often have a plan to head into their shelter, or a neighbor's or a friend's, but that's not an option for everyone. We walked through different scenarios that people might be in to help you create a plan, starting with a well-built house. Find a good location rather than focusing on the exact room.
People have been conditioned to get in a bathroom, get in a closet, get in a hallway. Well, it depends on where your bathroom is. If you've got a bathroom on the corner of the house with a skylight or windows, that's not a good shelter.
The room could be a kitchen pantry, a bathroom, a bedroom closet, or a hallway.
So look in your house. You've got light fixtures, you've got ceiling fans. What's in your attic? It's very likely that if the roof gets ripped off, God forbid, and things fall on you, that's what you're trying to protect yourself from.
Got some damage here to the roofs of this apartment complex.
Now, what about apartments? A big question asked each severe weather season.
There's not an easy answer for that.
Check with your apartment office. See if they have a laundry room or fitness facility in the complex that can serve as a better shelter.
Don't wait until the sirens are going off to start thinking about it.
The floor you take shelter on can make a difference.
So if you're on the first floor of a 3-story apartment building, you're probably going to be okay in the majority of tornadoes just getting as far away from the outside walls, windows as you can. Let's say you're on the 3rd floor. Your first floor neighbor is not really willing to let you come shelter with them for whatever reason, but maybe your 2nd floor neighbor is. Being on the 2nd floor is better than being on the 3rd floor.
If you are in either scenario, a house or an apartment, you want to cover yourself, not with a blanket or sheet, but with couch cushions, sleeping bags, and even wear a helmet. Taking simple steps and having a plan can work.
You just have to be in the right shelter area. Sometimes that's not going to work out, but the vast majority of the time, 80% of the tornadoes that we see here in Oklahoma never get to the strength where they're going to completely destroy your house.
Your chances go up, even by just moving away from outside walls and windows.
The probability of surviving a tornado if you don't have a storm shelter, I think, is much, much higher than people think.
In these situations, it's better to shelter in place, but that's not the case for everywhere.
If you're in a mobile home, you may need to go somewhere else, but you have to do that way before the warning is issued.
Manufactured homes are one place that is not safe in any tornado.
And in fact, last year in Oklahoma, most of the fatalities that we saw were people in mobile homes, sadly. Even if you're in a closet, a bathroom, an interior hallway, there is no safe place in a mobile home.
If you are faced with a situation where your home is not a good shelter, instead, you could look for a community shelter to add to your plan.
A lot of communities don't have them, so I think it's very important to research that in advance.
And that's what I did. We headed to the Newcastle Community Shelter. It's been around since 2005 and sheltered over 1,000 people in the 2011 tornado that struck Newcastle.
The 2011 tornado, we actually clocked winds on our weather station here at 184 miles an hour. No structural damage whatsoever to the structure.
20 years ago, Newcastle received a FEMA grant for a shelter to be built for the elementary school next door and for the community when kids are not in class.
Again, it was after the 99 tornado, and at that time, I believe there was maybe 5,000 residents, and we noticed that not a whole lot of them had storm shelters. And so that's when the city leaders started looking into FEMA grants.
Newcastle's emergency manager, Donnie Sullins, showed me the building and the rules that come along with it.
When the green light is on, we have one here on the north side and one on the east side. The shelter's open, red light, we're at capacity.
On severe weather days, Sullens will be at the shelter hours ahead of time.
Our policy is if there is a tornado warning within 30 miles, we open it up to the public.
It's bolted shut when the tornado is within 5 miles of the shelter's location.
If there is a tornado warned storm in Newcastle, we're not going to open the shelter because we don't want people driving in the storm.
The shelter has a capacity of 1,094 people, and in the past, they often reach the limit. Recently, they're seeing closer to 200 to 300 people come to the shelter.
We've seen a decrease, and I think because of that is we've been very fortunate for some hazard mitigation grants for the community to receive rebates on storm shelters.
The shelter is rated for 250 mile-per-hour winds.
Kids kind of get scared at the shelter here and, is it safe, Donnie? I'm like, yes. Our walls are 12 inches thick, so another 4 inches of reinforced steel concrete. I mean, we're not going anywhere.
Not all communities have shelters either, like the city of Moore. Gayland Kitch, the emergency manager for Moore since 1991, showed me around the city's Emergency Operations Center.
The activation for our storm sirens is back here.
And gave me insight as to why Moore chooses not to have a community shelter.
City of Moore has a resident population somewhere around 63,000 people. And 25 square miles, and a lot of traffic and a lot of congestion, which is normally always a good thing. However, during a storm, really the last place we would want people to be is in their car.
People who have lived in Moore for years have been through several devastating storms and either already knew where to shelter or found out in the aftermath.
There are documented evidence of people who sheltered in their home, in a closet, interior room, 1 block east of Plaza Tower School, and survived. We had other places that people took shelter that one would have thought would have been an adequate amount of protection, and we had fatalities. So it works both ways.
Because of the city's history, the city does get calls from new residents asking if Moore has a community shelter and what to do since there isn't one.
We've had storms that gave us very little warning. November of last year being one of them. Storm developed right over the top of us. If people would have received that warning with the storm already on us and then make a decision and get outside, they'd have been right in the middle of it.
There are 23,000 residences in Moore, and about a third of those have storm shelters. And if that isn't an option for you, shelter in place, and most importantly, have a plan ahead of time to know where to go once you get that warning.
The key thing is to make sure that you have ways to receive that warning, whether it is an app, whether it's a weather radio, whether it is a conversation with family members. Always, always, always important to have an ability to receive warnings, and once you receive the warning, to take some action right then. Don't wait around.
Meteorologist Sabrina Bates, KOCO 5 News.